Hi, my name is Elisabeth Zerofsky. I reported a story over the summer on new de-radicalization programs in France for Foreign Policy magazine, thanks to a grant from the Pulitzer Center. France has historically put most of its counterterrorism money into classical security measures, policing, intelligence, that kind of thing. But over the last couple of years, the French government has noticed more and more young people who are being attracted to jihadist ideologies, and they realized that they needed to develop some broader, softer social programs as well. De-radicalization is kind of a murky concept. It's very much governments that have instituted de-radicalization policies in the UK, Germany, Denmark, in the United States as well. For those governments, it's still very much a trial and error process, and most experts agree that there's no one-size-fits-all way to approach de-radicalization. It's really a very individualized process. So the French government was starting from scratch, and they decided to hire an anthropologist named Dunya Buzar, who had been working mostly with young women for a number of years and had developed her own approach and methods to radicalization, which she calls relational and ideological indoctrination. So the government hired Dunya Buzar, and she took on really an immense amount of work for them, training police prefectures across the country and taking on hundreds of young people and their families to try and help them. Buzar came under a number of criticisms in the press, some of them perhaps justified, some of them probably unjustified, and in any case, she decided to part ways with the government this fall. In the meantime, the French government also announced a new initiative that they would be opening a number of centers, which they were calling Centers for Reintegration and Citizenship, which basically means a de-radicalization center. And the first one of those opened very much in an experimental stage in a small town in the Loire Valley in September. There was some concern in the town, of course, about security, about having young people who were potentially violent living in the town, and so the government guaranteed the town government and the town residents that the young people who would start out at this new center would be there voluntarily and would be people who were not dangerous, who were, what they said, at risk of becoming radicalized. This presented a number of problems. The center opened in September, and of course, the issue is, you know, who do they know? How do they know if somebody is dangerous or not? If people are coming there voluntarily, who volunteers to go to a de-radicalization program, that kind of thing. The other issue is that many experts are concerned about putting a group of young people together who adhere to radical ideologies, that may actually reinforce the kind of group mindset that often comes with these kinds of things, as opposed to helping break it down. So the center reportedly has had a number of problems. They're still trying to figure out whether or not they can make this work. In the meantime, the French government feels that they need to be doing something to address this really quite broad social issue. So they are moving ahead with this experimental program and are supposed to be opening a number, several more of them in the coming year or two. So for my story for Foreign Policy, we really did a deep dive into academic research into de-radicalization, as well as policy options and proposals. It's a complicated topic, and so I hope you will read the story.